Hello grade 10s, we are back with another video on introduction to grade 10 trigonometry. So boys and girls, please please make sure that you listen. We're just going to be treating this simple question that was extracted from one of the previous question papers of the end of the year papers. So please let's treat the question together. So the question says in the diagram below, you have got a triangle. So you have got a triangle. QPR is triangle QPR. It's a right angle triangle. You know, the moment you see that type of a statement, a right angle triangle, so you must, expect one of the angles to be an angle of 90 degrees. Unfortunately, also as part of the given information there, they're saying to us angle QPR equals to a 90 degrees from that one. Right. So also from the diagram, yes, we can be able to see angle Q. We can be able to see Q. We can be able to see R and also your angle P there. We can be able to see all of those. So thank you guys. Then let's try to solve the problem there. The first question says, use the sketch to determine the ratio of your tan of 90 minus your R there. The ratio, remember, ratio could be R over X, it could be X over Y or Y over X. All those are basically ratios. And so they basically want something or looking for an answer that can be in the form of QR over QP or QP over QR or QP over PR or PR over something. So we need to focus on the sketch below. But now, focusing on the sketch, we need to make some rough notes for us to be able to understand what's happening there. And then remember, so you have got your angle P there as your angle of 90 degrees. Let's basically try to write what we're given or what we know there. So you have got a P there, angle P equals to your 90 degrees. It's a given data. And then from there, we know that, the interior angles of your triangle QPR equals to 180. So it's basically, like 180 minus this 90. Therefore, it's going to be a 90 minus 180 minus this 90 is basically 90, and then minus this angle of your R there, it's going to be 90 minus 90 minus R. So this one is going to be 90 minus your angle R there, and then obviously then this one is going to be your 90 minus your angle Q there. So therefore this one is angle of 90, this one is 180 minus this 90 minus the R, then you get that one. And then this one is going to be 180 of the total minus the 90. And then we get the 90 minus the Q. Therefore, you're going to get that of angle R there. So, all right. So, use the sketch to determine the ratio of 10 of 90 minus that. So, the opposite of that, just want to erase that small information there. The opposite of your 10 or the opposite of this angle is going to be PR. So it means this one 3.1.1 is going to be PR over the adjacent is going to be QP. QP is going to be the adjacent there. All right, so that will be defined as your PR over your QP as the ratio for 10 of 90 minus R, because we said 10 of 90 minus R is going to be the angle Q basically. And then this one we said angle R is basically it's going to be your 90 minus Q. Thank you. 3.1.2 says write down the trigonometric ratio that is equal to QR over QP. QR over QP, we need to look at where QR is. QR is basically the hypotenuse side, and then QP is the adjacent side of Q. And so we know that the trigonometric ratio that defines your Q the hypotenuse and also the adjacent is basically cos. But in this case, it seems as if it's going to be the inverse of the cos there. So the inverse of cos is sec. So it means we're going to have sec of your angle Q there. Sec of the angle Q. So we're going to have it as your sec of the angle Q. So it's going to be sec of angle Q. So 3.1.3. Unfortunately, we don't have 3.1.3. We're just going to move into your 3.2 there. So 3.2, guys, says S is a point on the Cartesian plane such that OS makes an angle of theta with the positive axis. So it's basically this angle from this side. So, but then we are given one of the coordinates there, or the vertices of this diagram. So we just have to make a construction. We complete the diagram. And then looking at the coordinate, the -1 is basically the the x value of this diagram, and then -4 is going to be the y. So it means this side is -3 and this side is going to be -4. So let's look at this. What is it that we don't have? We don't have the OS. That's basically your the longest side of the triangle. The first question says calculate the length of OS, and OS, we know it's basically the hypotenuse side of your diagram there. So it's basically 3.2.1. So we're gonna have OS squared equals to your x squared plus your y squared. So OS squared equals to -3 squared plus -4 we square. So OS squared equals to 9 plus your 16 there. And then OS squared equals to 9 plus 16 is 25. And then we apply a root there. Then OS equals to a 5. So then it means now we have got this one as a 5. All right. So OS equals to 5, guys. If they had to, this is 2 marks. So substitution and also this one. It's Pythagoras theorem. You don't have to provide a reason. So let's go to 3.3. I'm just going to try to write 3.2.1 or 3.2.2. 3.2.2. Let's look at 3.2.2. It says the value of sec theta plus sine square theta. Sec theta plus sine square theta. A sec, it's basically an inverse of your cos. So I'm going to have 1 over cos theta plus your sine square theta. So let's read the cos of theta. Remember your soccer tour, guys. From the soccer tour, we know that sine of the angle equals to the opposite side over the adjacent, and the cos of the angle equals to the adjacent side over hypotenuse, and tan equals to the opposite side over the adjacent. All right, so in terms of this one, cos of theta, it's going to be the theta is going to be located here, and we just read like that. It's going to be the adjacent side is -3 over a 5, but the inverse of that then it's going to be your 5 over -3 plus, we must read the sine theta there. Sine theta equals to the opposite side, which is this one over the hypotenuse, -4 over 5. We're going to have -4 over 5, then we square that one. So -5 over a 3 plus 16 over a 25, and then equals sine. We're going to have your 25. We need to calculate this one, and let me check. 4 squared is 16 over 25, and then we're going to have the LCD. In this case, we need to have 75. I'm going to choose 75. 25 into 7, okay, 3 into 75 goes how many times? It goes 25 times, and then you multiply this one by 25. So 5 multiplied by 25, it's going to be negative 125, and then we drop the plus sign. 25 this side is 3 times, then it's going to be 3 times 16 is 48. And your answer is going to be minus 125 plus 48, which is going to be minus 77 over 75. This is going to be the answer. So please look at that, like at what I did. Very simple, guys. What you need to do, you just have to read your 1 over sine of theta and also sine square theta. Take note that the sine theta is basically squared. That's why I squared here. And then we've got the inverse of that. It's going to be 5 over negative 3 plus that, plus in bracket negative 4 over 5 to the power of 2. So here you're going to have negative 5 over 3 plus 16 over 25. And you have negative 125 plus 48, because you had to figure out, the LCD between the 3 and also the 25, which is your 75 there. And then from there, your answer is going to be that one. Thank you, guys. So we are going to do the very last question here. I'm just going to come to this side so that I can be able to do your 3.3. Right. So 3.3 there. It's very simple. Determine the value of the following without using a calculator. The value of the following, you have got cosec 45 degrees all over sine of 90 and then dot of 10 of 60 degrees. So guys, remember cosec, the inverse of cosec is sine, or the sine of, the inverse of sine is going to be your cosec. This is basically theoretical. So therefore you need to figure out, this is 1 over sine 45 degrees, and then from there all over sine of 90 degrees and 10 of 60 degrees. All right, so what is sine of 45? Sine of 45, it's going to be 1 over root of 2. So the inverse of 1 over root of 2, we're just going to put it as, root of 2 like that. And then all over sine of 90, it's 1 multiplied by 10 of 60. It's going to be root of 3. So your final answer is going to be root 2 over root of 3. And we know mathematically from this principle that says if you've got root of A over root of B, you can compute it as your root of A over AB. Then you can be able to have that. So it means now our final answer is going to be 2 over 3. Thank you so much. This is going to be the end of our lesson. Guys, trigonometry grade 8 is very, very, very simple. So the secret to this thing, you just have to know your SOHCAHTOA. If you really master your SOHCAHTOA, that I said already, it's basically sine of the angle theta, for example, equals to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. And then cos is basically the adjacent side over the hypotenuse, and tan its opposite side over the adjacent side. And then from there, please guys, make sure that you also understand, you master your diagram type of questions. I'm basically talking about, this type of questions. So draw your Cartesian plane, draw your diagram, understand the conditions that you're supposed to be, using in order to draw the diagram. And then from there, use the Pythagoras theorem to compute the third side that is not given. So basically, in this case, they're asking us about your OS. So then from there, you can be able to do your trigonometric ratios, your sine of theta, your cos of theta, your tan of theta, using what you call the SOHCAHTOA mnemonic word. And then also master your special angles, guys. Different books contains different techniques for special angles. There are textbooks that I know that contains a table for the special angles, and then some of the textbooks, they directly use your triangle A and also triangle B. So thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe with Blue Star Tutoring company, or tutoring Academy. Guys, if you're looking for help in mathematics and also physical sciences, you can reach us on 074-770-0647. You can WhatsApp, you can text, you can call. So thank you guys. Cheers.